So on my video, Is It Gay to Like Women, I tried to hit one of the weirder trends that have hit the internet. That trend being that phase where you slowly start to hate your girlfriend. And obviously, for more detail on that topic, I will go recommend watching that video so you get more context as to what this video is about. But to describe it quickly, I essentially think it is gay, as in homosexual, for men to slowly start hating their girlfriends and only want to agree with male opinions on women. And I stand on that shit unapologetically. Because of my take, some men didn't really like this and decided to leave some comments that quite literally proves my point, man. And I knew this was gonna happen. And today, I got the time to fully entertain this shit. Specifically because this commenter described me as a white knight, bro. Really? Like, wow. And you can see the interaction throughout this entire thread here. You may notice how I'm not showing this person's name on this comment. That's because, for one, I don't believe in witch hunting, so if you do find this comment on that video, do not go out of your way to bully this person. That's lame. And for two, I checked this person's channel and they're not finna farm no clout out of me, bro. Especially with a free for profit tight beat playlist? They got a better chance trying to clear them YouTube beats than to clown me in my comment section, dog. So looking at my video and the comment thread, let's actually see if I was being a white knight.
Of course, you could always wait for some white knight to come along.
And what's the best way to figure this out? Obviously defining the damn term, right? According to Merriam-Webster, a white knight is one that comes to the rescue of another in its first definition and one that champions a cause in its second. And if you look at the premise of my video, you could kinda claim that I was being a white knight because I am championing a cause in that video. And my cause was being against misogyny in all forms. But because I got a liberal arts education, you know I can't take one definition at face value. So let's go check some other scholarly definitions. So let's go to Reddit. And I think this is the best definition I could find from Reddit. But it comes from a deleted user on the subreddit called Explain It To Me Like I'm 5. The definition describes inserting themselves into an argument or situation for the sole purpose of trying to win points with people or look good. Also, it is somebody who jumps to the defense of somebody when they don't really need defending. And now let's look at the commenter's definition to see if it lines up with the two definitions that we have. They claim that the dudes did nothing wrong and were cussed out, and I'm agreeing with dudes being cussed out for no other reason other than they offended the feelings of women. Huh? My brother in Christ, what are you yapping about? I literally gave you reasons and you moonwalked past them. So let's discuss those reasons briefly and I'll explain them to you like you're 5. Actually, I'm not, because I know this commenter doesn't care. So neither do I. Also, this commenter decided to say, just say you don't get bitches, which is just extreme cope, man.
Like a blur, because the only thing I'm thinking of is I'm about to catch my first college body.
Because you remember, I'm only here for one reason. I'm trying to shoot and scoop. I'm here for a reason. I'm here to get that bone in, so I gotta do what I gotta do, man.
And I'm not even proud of these stories, bro. But these stories definitely show you one thing, that I get bitches. You know what? Let's go girl for girl. Show me your roster, bucko. Matter of fact, I don't even need to see it. Off the strength of your YouTube profile, you couldn't pull a medal if you had a damn magnet in your pocket. But this comment isn't the entire reason why this video exists, because it made me realize something, that other people feel this way, and it shows how much the casual misogyny just be stanking up the internet, man. Y'all are probably thinking of a couple people in mind. These figures claim to be the models of masculinity, and as a result, they've ruined how young men look at themselves, and as a result, women too. I think one of the bigger examples of this is Andrew Tate, and how he wanted to educate young men, all wrapped up into his course called Hustlers University. It got deleted, never mind. So, correction actually, Hustlers University got reinstated as Hustlers University 4.0, and you can purchase it for the low price of $49. Do not fucking do it, please don't. But his teachings have a more male-centric approach to becoming more masculine, and some of these teachings bled onto the most influential people on the internet, such as Sneeko. And you already know how the internet views Sneeko right now. They call the hotel chair a Sneeko chair. I don't think it gets much worse than that. I don't. Also, you can see the instant regret even Sneeko has spreading this information championed by Andrew Tate. If this video doesn't explain the issues with spreading misinformation on the internet, I really don't know what does. But let's actually move to the extremes of white knighting here. If y'all aren't aware of Ruby Rose, she's a lot of things that I can't say because of reasons, but in short, she's a content creator on OnlyFans. And she has a #1 fan that's been in the spotlight for some peculiar behavior, to say the least. And watching the video and scrolling through what this man has to say, he is devoted to everything that is Ruby Rose, saying that she is worth more than Bitcoin. Before y'all get out of hand, I'm not blaming Ruby Rose for doing this type of work. That's her business, and if people want to pay for her content, that is their prerogative. I'm not one to judge. But because of what we have here, we have an individual that, for one, isn't even respected by Ruby Rose. The screenshot literally says, Brandon, weird OF fan. And despite that, he is absolutely willing to do anything for her attention. And this is shown by him blowing her phone up just to not even get a response from her, bro. And he also has an entire tattoo on his body of Ruby Rose. I genuinely don't have any words for this. I just pray he can devote some time to something else. But the dangers of this situation, whether faked by him and Ruby or not, makes the men that are funding these OnlyFans creators think they own a part of these women. And because of that quasi-ownership, I'm assuming that these men will defend these women tooth and nail, and they'll never think they did anything wrong, even if they did something terrible. It's almost like the sunken cost fallacy with these men. They spent so much money on these curators that they can't back out because the damage has already been done. Especially with numerous people telling them that they're wrong for spending money on this type of content, they're gonna double down like they're in Vegas on a Friday. Do I need to show you Pokemon's Reddit? I really don't want to, man. I really don't. Now let's circle back to these based red pill alpha males, because they're essentially the reason for these two extremes, specifically with the manner and how they deliver their information. For one, it's targeted towards a specific demographic of men. These are likely insecure, socially awkward men who are trying to find a reason why these women don't like them. And before I go on, I do not claim being based. I know it's my name on here, but I promise you it came from something else and not this shit, dog. God, I did not realize how this name would backfire when I made it when I was 19. Ugh. Back to the point. The trick on how this behavior works so well is that they do sprinkle a little bit of truth, but they twist it into an effective lie later. And who's one of the greatest social media figures to do this, you may ask? Jordan fucking Peterson. And I know he's lying because he twists psychological truth, bruh. Fuck, man. God. So, let's talk about what I actually mean here.
Those who have swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed, will inherit the world. And that's another thing I've been telling. Yeah, no kidding. That's a lot different, man. That's a big difference. It's so great. And so, like, one of the things I tell young men, well, and young women as well, but the young men really need to hear this more, I think, is that you should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right, exactly. That's exactly it.
Now this, to anybody unaware of what he is doing, might say, I don't see anything wrong with this. But to me, I interpreted this because I know he's using a quote to fit a narrative that is not true. The quote that Jordan is using is from the Bible, and it is Matthew 5 verses 5. Fundamentally and religiously, it is a true statement. Anyone who is able to know the strength of their talents, but they don't have to flex them, are going to be more successful as they are humble about their talents. But when Jordan goes on to say you should sheath your competitive instinct, and then goes on to say you should be a monster but learn how to control it, what? Like, what is meant by being a monster? Do you know what we consider monsters? Jeffrey Dahmer and the US government in the 1980s, not the guy who needs better social skills, bruh. And on top of this, he's leading the conversation to this conclusion by saying, you shouldn't be aggressive, you shouldn't try to do any harm, and you shouldn't try to win. So it's more justified rhetorically when he says something outlandish like becoming a monster. And from this short, you can see how the truth from the Bible can be turned into something misleading and dangerous for somebody trying to look to improve themselves. I didn't cherry pick this. I literally just Googled Jordan Peterson motivation. You can search almost any Jordan Peterson short or any of these motivational based Sigma males and see the exact same thing throughout all their videos. And they do it because it works. Look at all their followings. Shit, Andrew Tate almost hit cult level status while being charged for some egregious shit. And all the egregious shit will be to my left. Tell me again how Andrew Tate, Sneeko, or Jordan Peterson is a great role model for men. I'll be waiting. But because they and how others in this Sigma male space are able to sprinkle truth in, they are effective at manipulating these minds of men, making them think that this is what masculinity is. And as a result, you get comments like this that was left on my video. And I guess this video is gonna serve as a warning for anybody trying to challenge me in the comment section. Just know if you leave a comment like this, or anything wild for that matter, that you're catching 4 years of this liberal arts psychology degree. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on the video, put your boy in the algorithm so everybody can see your boy, BasedDom. Yes, sir, man. Leave a comment. Let's talk about how misogyny has just made its place on the internet. If you are a guy or a girl, let me know your thoughts and your experiences with this. And do you have the same takes that I do on Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, or Sneeko? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a dialogue. And subscribe, man. I promise you, I do not get tired of saying that we are in the band land. It is a crazy feeling to finally be able to chase this dream and this passion and knocking this goal out the park. I appreciate all my subscribers, both new and old, because y'all make my dreams of being a content creator realer and realer every day, and I love you. But yeah, man, it's been BasedDom, people. Deuces.